Welcome back to my channel. Here we have the birthday boy. I am doing this week an honorarium to Malcolm X on his 100th birthday, May 19th, 2025. He would have made 100 years old. So happy heavenly birthday. This is part two, by which I am just outpouring a perspective and an opinion. And this is just my own journey and thought of him. As I mentioned in the first video, if you haven't seen it, I'll drop it in the description box for you to catch up, follow along. I'm wanting to do a little 5 to 7 minutes on this wonderful man's life as it meant to me, I'll say. For this video, I'd like to focus on what I would call the harassment he endured from the FBI, particularly J. Edgar Hoover, who also harassed Martin Luther King. I guess just for being Black and progressive. I guess just for being a Muslim. I guess just for expressing Black power. I guess just wanting unity for a people. I guess just for the fact that he was an independent thinker. I guess for the fact that he was not afraid to speak his voice. He had the spine to speak his voice. I guess for the fact that he was a symbolic representation of Black power. For what other reason was there to harass this man and his family and his work and his life work? And so this observation, I juxtapose it to even today, how that any time we as a Black people manage to make what I call forward progress, somehow or another it gets sent back decades before. DEI is a perfect example of that. Now, I know I'm talking about Malcolm X and honoring him, but as I said in the first video, I don't need to spend this short 5 to 10 minutes per day in these increments to talk about the legacy of this man, the legacy of his work. You can research that on your own, as I suggested. Please read this book. It's wonderful. I'm talking about experientially the impact and the lineage of his legacy, even today, is that he represented a by any means necessary mentality. That means that you don't stop, you don't quit, you don't circle back, you don't halt, you don't neutralize. You continue to move forward to proceed in a way that not only makes progress for your life as an individual Black, but for the collective. As I've often said in many of my videos, when I talk about us as a people, Black people, it is the collective by which I'm devoted. The collective must do well. The collective must progress. The collective must have opportunities. The collective must not be subparly treated, not even by us. We are not 3/5 of a man, 3/5 of a woman, 3/5 of a person, 3/5 of a child, because we are Black. That mentality was created by a non-Black, but never accepted by a Black. And Malcolm X had a lot to do with that. Malcolm X had a lot to do with the fact that while the Black Panthers weren't created yet, because he died 2 years before the Black Panthers formulated, but the Black Panthers leapt forward off of his work. And then they were considered, oh, create some fear and intimidation. They're scary and they're militant and they're aggressive and they're weaponry. You should be afraid of them. When if you study by which the chronicles the bylaws, the structure, the strategy, the mission, the vision, the intention, the orchestration, the sergeant at arms within each person. If you studied that, everything pointed back to Black progress by any means necessary. Now, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? But nothing. There was nothing wrong with it way back then, and there's nothing wrong with it now, except a mindset trapped into a colonizer. Without that mindset, that situation doesn't exist. And here's the thing. Malcolm X was fiery in saying it way back then. The blue-eyed devil and all of this. Without him and his voice and the empowerment of his voice, where he admitted and stated and said and proclaimed that the pride of the Black man is a threat to the white man just because it exists. Well, this is nonsense. The benefit we have now today, looking back from all those many years in the 60s and the mid-60s, is that now there has been a development, an awakening, an awareness of white people, many whom feel cheated themselves, lied to, cheated, made fearful of something that didn't even exist. So while we were the subject of that, they were the victim of it. And every white person that was held hostage in their mindset has every reason to be angry with their own kind, whereas we don't. So let the freedom ring. Now that was a king's word. Nonetheless, by any means necessary, let the freedom ring, because that is progress. And we don't go back. So clock that T. If you've gotten this far, please click like, please click subscribe, bring a friend with you. Next time I'll be posting part 3 of this wonderful man image in my heart. That's the best way I could put it. Have a good day. Click like, click subscribe. Bye, y'all. I love him.